Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. We just got our latest battle box. Let's see what's inside. All right, so as you can see, we're on mission 92 and it's a very long box. So that's usually when you have a interestingly shaped box, it's because they're sending you some unique products that are that shape. So let's see what we have inside here. First up here, valued at about $8, we have some trail markers. And so it seems like it's part of the theme here is going to be hunting for this box. But these are great whether it's for hiking or something else. You've got a little clip there on the end. They're bright orange. They've got the Battlbox logo there. But basically, clip that onto a tree so as you're hiking out to a spot that's got your deer stand, or maybe it's a secret fishing spot or whatever it is, high-vis trail markers. $8 for these, totally reasonable price. I've used similar products at my bushcraft base camp, but they're like a tack that has like a reflective sticker on it that you can put into trees. These are a little bit more obvious, but I think something like this is great for a variety of purposes: hunting, camping, things like that. But even if you're out bushcrafting and you leave like a debris hut is hard to see in the in the woods because it's perfectly camouflaged with the woods. It's made out of natural material. So sometimes I'll leave like an orange bandana or something like that hanging on a tree, and you could use something like this just to identify, hey, that's where base camp is. So that's our first product. Next up, valued at $15, is this PFC, Protection First Class Earth Cover Scent. So lubricates in extreme cold, high performance protectant, non-toxic, toxic and solvent free, and lanolin based formula. So just look at that. So essentially you've got here a gear lubricant, but it's not gonna have a scent, so it's not gonna scare off the animals. I mean, there's not a ton more to say. Like I think about this, I always think about the pivot in my folding knives, right? To make sure that they're moving smoothly. So yeah, whether it's for your firearm or a knife or other gear that you have in the outdoors, $15 it looks like. Yeah, $15 for the PFC, Protection First Class Lubricant and Protectant. Next up, valued at $16, is this, which is from Gear Aid. It's camo form. I've actually used this in the past. You can basically wrap it around gear to make it camouflaged. It basically sticks to itself. It's kind of like in a cryptek pattern, as you can see there. I honestly, when I used this last time, I was just testing it out. This for me doesn't have a lot of use just because I just don't need to use something like this. But I've got buddies who hunt, and I'll definitely pass this on to them. I will say the cool thing about it is that if it gets wet or grimy, you can take it off, let it dry out, and then you can reattach it to your, reapply it to your gear. So something simple. I may have something I can attach this to. This is not to use as like a handle wrap for like a knife or an axe or something like that. It's really to make things camouflage. Residue-free, conceals and protects. 2 inches by 144 inches long. So simple product, but again, not super useful for me, but certainly I'm sure it will be for other people. And that's our third product. Yeah, third product in this month's battle box. All right, next up we have this 7 3/4 inch folding knife from Fox Edge. It said it's a Russ Comer. Yeah, Russ Comer design, HCR 13 MOV for the steel. Since I'm getting the battle box at the Pro Plus level, I'm always getting the knife. But it is nice to have a knife at the basic level. So if you're at the basic level for Battlbox, you're still gonna get a knife. You can see we've got the frame lock there. Basic steel, I mean, it's just a simple knife. It's gonna come in at around $33 for value. That's probably still a little bit high for me, but it's decent. If they were saying, $50 for this thing, I would say it's a lot. I will say it doesn't swing out as quickly as I would want it to. Let's do it again here. Yeah. So, maybe flip the wrist a little bit there. But a basic knife, simple design, opening there. You can use the flipper as well. Yeah, simple tool if you need a pocket knife for EDC or being out in the woods. There you go. From Fox Edge, designed by Russ Comer, and value around $33. All right, next up, valued at $50, is the Climate Hammock here. That's the hammock. The official name is the Traverse Hammock. It's a single person hammock. I've actually got 2 hooks set up at our bushcraft base camp. And so I can just basically, always set up a hammock really easy. Those hooks are actually put into 2 huge old pine trees. So we'll go set this up and test it out. So I'm not gonna talk to it a ton here where I'm shooting the video, but I'll roll in footage in a minute to let you know what I think about the Climate Hammock. All right, I'm out here at the bushcraft base camp. We got a tree here and a tree here, and I've got 2 hooks. And we're gonna run the hammock in between those two. Now it does come with 2 sets of webbing, so you're gonna run those around the tree and then, you know, run your hook through them. But I don't need those obviously because I've got my hook set up. And the bag is built into the hammock, so it kind of folds into or rolls into the bag. You can see we got 2 carabiners here, kind of locked together. But then you've got these loops as well, and I'm actually gonna run the loop over the hook just rather than do it to the carabiner, just because when you swing, it kind of gives you a clinking noise with those moving back and forth. But simple enough to do here. Now you can probably see that's quite high. That's like that's probably chest level for me. Maybe a little bit hard to get into here. The normal hammock I have set up between these 2 trees just has a little bit more rope at the attachment point, so it sits a little bit lower, but we'll see if I can climb into this guy as is. So I did have to use the Lowe's bucket just because it is so high. So you could add a little bit more cordage on there, or obviously you could put it between 2 trees that are closer. I'm using the hooks because they were there, but the webbing allows you to, you know, if you have 2 trees that are this far apart, you could set it up so that you can have a little bit more distance. The webbing can stretch out, or you can basically run it longer or shorter depending on the distance between the trees. But I love this spot. Look straight up through the trees into the sunlight. You can see birds flying around, hopping amongst the branches and stuff. A hammock is a great product to have for camping, resting, just adventure. So yeah, thumbs up. Climate makes a lot of good products. I do like a lot of the stuff they have. I've gotten quite a bit of it through the Battlbox subscriptions. And yeah, so thumbs up for the hammock. All right, we're gonna look at the second to last item because it's a bigger item in a minute, but I do wanna show you at the Pro Plus level. We have a Wooks knife. This is in D2, it's called the Bad Boy, and cool little knife. Comes with this simple leather sheath, little loop there. It does sit down, I would say decently deep, and it's pretty solidly locked in. Like I wouldn't be concerned about it dumping out just walking, but that's the knife. That is a very handsome blade. So 3-finger grip pretty confidently. You can rock your thumb. If you get all 4 in, it's a little bit tight with your pinky, but you can do that. Some nice jimping on the right near where the handle and the blade meet, and then up further, so you can lock it out there. But compact little knife. I love little knives like this. The SCCR 2.5, the Azula, a little bit smaller than the RB3, a wide blade there, but cool knife, you know, for more detail cuts like that. And then obviously the 3-finger grip to hold it like that. There's sort of rounded portions of the handle, but they don't have hard angles, but they're not like super rounded. So I would say kind of in between, as you can see there. This is valued at $119. D2 steel. So $119 for D2 steel, I think maybe a little bit high, but it is a very nice looking knife. It's also not like mass produced, pumped out by some company that's making 10,000 knives every day. Let's read the details here. Compact fixed blade with an American walnut handle, D2 steel, an Italian leather sheath, designed to be on your belt for a lifetime, easily controlled point, and long blade at the Bad Boy drop point makes it a great all-purpose knife. Overall length 6 1/4 inches, blade length 2 3/4 of an inch, handle length 3 1/2, weight is 3.2 ounces, blade thickness 3/25, and handle thickness 3/4 of an inch. So slick little knife. I like that thing. I love a good compact fixed blade. The sheath, like I said, it's fine. It's Italian leather. I think it could actually run a little deeper, probably, as I'm looking at it now. Yeah, it's you know, it's basically a piece of leather folded over, and I threw a little loop on the back. So they could put a little bit more refining into the sheath, but still a cool blade, I think. All right, so our bigger item here, and the reason that the box is so big, is this. So the Gear Scope Survival Bow and Arrow set. So I have a breakdown bow made by, I'm trying to remember the company, but I got it in a Battlbox quite a while ago. Anyhow, this is another one. So let's take it out and check it out. So it does come in this bag, looks like. Yep, which is nice for storage. Here's a quick look at your arrows. 1, 2, 3. With nothing on the tip here. So I'm assuming that the tips are there in the storage bag. There's your handle portion. There's all your hardware to put it all together, including that little wrench. So we'll take that out in a second. There's your other 2 sections of the bow. There's your tips to the arrows. All right, so assembly looks relatively simple. Just gonna slide this in there, then you're gonna put your bolt in there, and then slide this guy in here, and put that bolt in there through that hole, and then string it. So that's what that looks like. You can see, use the Allen wrench to crank this down. You put the bolt through this kind of little cup thing, and that'll keep from cracking the this portion of the bow. So there's the whole bow, and I gotta string it now. And I'm gonna actually head to a different location so I can actually shoot the arrows and not just put it together and say, hey, that's what it looks like, but let's actually, we'll test this thing out. Quick look here. There are your arrows with the actual arrowheads on them. Here's what the bow looks like all strung together. Very simple to do. It's starting to rain here, so I got to wrap this up, but I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to shoot me shooting the bow and arrow. All right, so you probably saw the first one missed. Went right into the dirt. Here's your second 2. Straight through. So, yeah, I think that's cool. I think it's a cool product. Anything that's super practical, high value survival tool, I'm a big fan of. Battlbox, the 2 collapsible bow and arrow systems that they've sent have been great. So I think that's awesome. So I'm a fan of this. I haven't used it long term. I haven't hunted with it, can't speak to that. But overall, the build, the construction, the feel of it, quite good. So I would give a thumbs up to this item from Battlbox. Let's wrap up here and offer you some thoughts. So obviously this thing is a win. I do think the trail markers, simple product, but that's a win as well. The EDC knife is fine. Nothing, super special to me, but it's a cool item. There's definitely kind of a hunting theme for this one. I think this one and the compact fixed blade are the biggest wins of this box. Definitely appreciate those products. I'm somebody who likes a compact little fixed blade, so that works for me. Let's hear your thoughts though. What do you like? What do you not like? As always, I like to remind people, these videos are not a full long-term review of all the items. It's just kind of an overview to say, here's what you could get in a battle box. Do you know these items? Are these new items to you? You can check them out on your own. I do have a link. If you go to the Battlbox page, you can actually see the link to my personal picks of some of my favorite items that Battlbox has put out there. So you can check that out if you want to do that. But let's, as always, get the discussion started in the comment section. Thoughts, feelings, reactions to this month's Battlbox, and let's jump into the conversation now. Thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.